Okay, so going to correct question 11. So it says Abdul copies a diagram of a right angle triangle from his maths book as shown. Find the value of x. Okay, so right angle triangle, I'm able to use Pythagoras' theorem. So I have a squared plus b squared is equal to c squared. I have my longest side is always my c opposite the right angle, which is 8x minus 21. So this is going to be my a, this is my b. So I have 3x minus 7 to be squared plus 6x to be squared is equal to 8x minus 21 to be squared. Something to be squared means it's multiplied by itself, so I have 3x minus 7 times 3x minus 7 plus 6x to be squared is 36x squared is equal to 8x minus 21 bracket 8x minus 21. I split my brackets, so I have 3x times everything in my second bracket minus 7 times everything in my second bracket plus 36x squared is equal to 8x times everything in my second bracket minus 21 times everything in my second bracket. So 3x times 3x will give me 9x squared. 3x times minus 7 is minus 21x. Minus 7 times 3x is minus 21x. Minus by minus gives me plus 49 plus 36x squared is equal to 8x by 8x is 64x squared. 8x by minus 21 is minus 168x. Minus 21 by 8x is minus 168x, and then minus by minus gives me plus 441. Okay, so I tidied up the left hand side first, so I have my 9x squared plus my 36x. That gives me 45x squared minus 42 plus 49. When I tidied up the left hand side, so I brought my like terms together. Then I tidy up my right hand side and I have 64x squared minus 336x plus 441. And then I'm left with, so I bring everything over to the right hand side. So I have 64x squared. This becomes minus 45x squared. Minus 336x. Bring this over, it becomes plus 42x. Plus 441, bring over my 49 and it becomes minus 49, and I'm left with 19x squared minus 294x plus 392. I went off then and did my minus b formula, so minus b plus or minus the square root of b squared minus 4ac all over 2a. I have a is equal to 19, b is equal to minus 294, and c is equal to 392. So I have minus b is minus 294 plus or minus b, so minus 294 to be squared minus 4 bracket a bracket c all over 2 bracket a. So I have 294 plus or minus 86,436 minus 29,792 all over 38. So I have 294 plus the square root 56,644 all over 38, and I have 294 plus this over 38, 294 minus this over 38, and I get x is equal to 14, and I get x is equal to 1.47. I can't accept both of those answers, so I said if x is equal to 1.47, I subbed in for one of my sides, and I had 3x minus 7, so I had 3 bracket 1.47 minus 7, and I got minus 2.59, so that's not possible to have a side of triangle of that length, so therefore I can only accept x is equal to 14. Part B says Abdul draws another right angle triangle, but this time he thinks he's made an error in his diagram. Explain why he thinks he's made an error. Okay, right, so I got the two shorter sides, okay, which are my 7x minus 2 and my 2x minus 8. Once again, I'm dealing with a right angle triangle, so I'm going to deal with Pythagoras' theorem. So I have 7x minus 2 to be squared plus 2x minus 8 to be squared. And something to be squared means it's multiplied by itself. So I'll have 7x minus 2, bracket 7x minus 2, plus 2x minus 8, bracket 2x minus 8. So I take my first term times everything in the second bracket, my second term times everything in the second bracket, first term times everything in the second bracket, second term times everything in the second bracket. So 7x times 7x, that gives me 49x squared. 7x times minus 2 is minus 14x. Minus 2 times 7x is minus 14x. Minus by minus gives me plus 4. 2x by 2x is 4x squared. 2x by minus 8 is minus 16x. Minus 8 by 2x is minus 16x. And minus by minus gives me plus 64. I then tidied all of that up, okay, and I was left with 53x squared minus 60x plus 68. and then I work out my longest side. Okay, so remember, in Pythagoras' theorem I have a squared plus b squared is equal to c squared, so I've got my a and my b to be squared, and that's what I've got here. And now I'm getting my longest side, so this should be equal to this to be squared. So I have 6x plus 2 to be squared, means multiplied by itself. So I have my first term times everything in the second bracket, my second term times everything in the second bracket. So I have 6x bracket 6x plus 2, 2 bracket 6x plus 2. 6x times 6x gives me 36x squared. 6x times 2 is 12x, 2 times 6x is 12x, and 2 times 2 is 4. And when I tidy that up, I have 36x squared plus 24x plus 4. So if it is a right angle triangle, we got this here was my two short sides added together. This is my long side. They should be equal to one another. So what I've done is I brought everything over to one side, and I'll have 53x squared. Bring this over, becomes minus 36x squared. Minus 60x, bring this over, becomes minus 24x. And I have plus 64, and bring this over, becomes minus 4 is equal to 0. So I have 17x squared minus 84x plus 64 is equal to 0. I then went off and did my minus b formula, so I have a is equal to 17, b is equal to minus 84, and c is equal to 64. So I have minus b plus or minus b squared minus 4ac all over 2a. So I have minus 84 plus or minus 84 to be squared, minus 4 bracket 17 bracket 64 all over 2 bracket 17. And I have 84 plus or minus 7,056 minus 4,352 all over 34, 2,704 all over 34. I then get 84 plus 2,704 over 34, and I get my answer is equal to 4, and I do it to minus, and I get 0.94. So I write down if x is equal to 4, then I have 2x minus 8. I get 2 bracket 4 minus 8 is equal to 0. Okay, I get then if x is equal to 0.94, I get 2 bracket, and then I get x is equal to minus 6.12 using that. So this way I have 0, this way I have minus 6.12. So that's how I can prove that Abden has made a mistake. I definitely can't have a right angle triangle with those figures. Okay, so for question 12, it says the path of a pebble thrown off a cliff is given by the formula y is equal to minus 20 minus 9 over 20x squared plus 5 over 2x plus 11, where y is the height in meters above sea level and x is the horizontal distance from this cliff face in meters. What is the height of the pebble when it's thrown? Okay, so this here is my formula, and to get the height of the pebble when it's thrown, I'm going to let x equal to 0. So I'll have y is equal to minus 9 over 20 bracket 0 to be squared plus 5 over 2 bracket 0 plus 11, and I get y is equal to 11. So the pebble is 11 meters. Part B, it then says what is the height of the pebble after travelling 3 meters horizontally. So I'm going to sub in for 3. So I'll have x squared plus 5 over 2x plus 11, and I'm letting x equal to 3. So I have y is equal to minus 9 over 20, 3 to be squared plus 5 over 2, 3 plus 11, and I get y is equal to 14, 9 over 20, or y is equal to 14.45 meters. Part C then says how far is the pebble from the cliff face when it hits the sea? Answer correct to 2 decimal places. So here I'm actually getting y is equal to 0. Okay, so I'm trying to find y is equal to 0, and I let this equal to 0. Then I get a common denominator because I'm dealing with fractions, and we don't like dealing with fractions, and my lowest common denominator is 20. And then I ask myself, how many times does 20 go into 20? It goes in once, times my numerator, which is minus 9x squared. Then I go, how many times does 2 go into 20? It goes in 10 times, times my numerator, which is 5. This over 1, so how many times does 1 go into 20? It goes in 20 times, times my numerator, which is 11, is equal to 0. Okay, I can then drop my CD because I'm after making that fraction equivalent. So I have minus 9x squared plus 50x plus 220 is equal to 0. And then I want this to be positive, so it has 9x squared minus 50x minus 220 is equal to 0. They gave me a hint that I need to use my minus b formula by telling me to correct it to 2 decimal places. So I have a is equal to 9, b is equal to minus 50, and c is equal to 220. And then I have minus b plus or minus square root of b squared minus 4ac all over 2a. So I have minus 50 plus or minus square root of minus 50 to be squared 9 bracket c, which is minus 220 all over 2 bracket a. And I have 50 plus or minus 2,500 plus 7,920 all over 18. And I have 50 plus or minus the square root of 10,420 all over 18. And then I'll have 50 plus square root 10,420 over 18 will give me 8.45 meters, and I'll get 50 minus the square root of 10,420 all over 18, and I'll get x is equal to minus 2.89. I can't have a negative distance because it told me it was above sea level, so I'm going to have to take the answer 8.45 meters.